Okay, low battery. So we are at the Inn at the Colonnade, Doubletree by Hilton Hotel, back home in Baltimore, Maryland. I have not been at this hotel since I worked here 30 some years ago. Because again, I ain't 60, or 60 don't look like this by God's grace and Bahamian DNA. So, this was my first luxury hotel experience in my hospitality sales career. It's changed quite a bit. Shout out to God, Lambo, Steve Harvey for writing down my goals, because on one of my goals and things to do list, I wrote to stay at the Inn at the Colonnade again, since I haven't been here in 30 some years. It looks, some parts are same, some is a lot different. The floors are different. We had these imported floors from Italy back when I first worked here. And there was a really high-end restaurant over here. It was called the Polo Grill. And a quick story was, I was working on booking a movie that was being filmed in Baltimore. And I can't remember the name of it. I gotta go back 30 years in my memory banks. And I think it was called That Girl, or it was a low budget movie, but it was several millions of dollars back then. And Baltimore back then was known for getting quite a few movies. I think John Waters, the famous director and producer, is from here. And he is from Baltimore. And so the Tremont Hotel, downtown Baltimore, has office space on the top floor of their building. And I want to say it's like the 20th or 30th floor. And they are primed to win movie business. Well, I gave it my best shot, bidding on this movie and whining and dining and courting the site manager. We played tennis together, had drinks together at one of the well-known establishments here in Towson. And one night in particular, we had dinner here at the Polo Grill, and the director, the producer, the executive producer, all the head honchos, and the site manager and I had dinner at the Polo Grill. I don't remember how much that bill was, but what I do remember about that amazing meal was that we shared, passed around the table, it was like 8 of us, and we had a glass of Henry VIII Courvoisier that was like, back then, $150 for the ounce. And it was in a brandy snifter, and the aroma was life-changing. It was unforgettable, the aroma. So we all took turns swirling the Courvoisier, passing it around, and all 8 of us took a sip of this amazing cognac. And I should remember how much the bill was. Thank God the hotel paid for it. I didn't, because I was giving it my best shot to get this multi-million-dollar movie that was going to be housed, the actors, the production, the directors. They were going to have an office here in the hotel. It was going to be a big deal. I learned a lot about movies back then, and a movie is its own company. So they have their own bank account. It's a thing. They have catering, logistics, you name it, they have it. So yeah, that was one of my famous stories from my time here at the Inn at the Colonnade. And that was in the late 80s, early 90s that I was here. And this was when our sales team, we won the Black & Decker corporate transient business. To celebrate, our director of sales and our general manager and the corporate sales manager took a limousine ride from here to Black & Decker headquarters in Towson to get the contract signed. And when they came back in the limousine, we all met in one of the smaller ballrooms, and we had champagne and chocolate covered strawberries to celebrate getting the Black & Decker account here. That was in the glory days of hotels. So here we are now, 30 some years later, at the Inn at the Colonnade, Doubletree by Hilton Hotel. Say hi, Kim. And we're living out this goal, wish of mine to stay here again. So more to come. Welcome to Baltimore. I know this one was long. That across the street is Johns Hopkins University. The world famous Johns Hopkins University, known for its public health, public relations, government affairs, engineering, medicine. The medical school is east downtown Baltimore. We are north downtown Baltimore. You can see a little bit of the university sign. That's the football field and the lacrosse field. Johns Hopkins University, of course, is known for its tradition of excellence in lacrosse. As a matter of fact, the United States Lacrosse Museum is in walking distance down the street here on Charles Street. And I'll show you outside. You can tell I'm a little bit excited to be here, right? So the hotel is the lower level and floors 2 and 3. Floors 4 through 12 are condominiums. Here's my last story for this broadcast is I'm in the sales office one day. Ready to go up, baby? I'm in the sales office one day, and somehow, some way, I was the only one in the sales office out of the 6 of us. So I guess it was lunchtime or something, and I was at my desk working, and I answer the phone from my desk, and it's Brooks Robinson, the famous Baltimore Oriole Hall of Fame baseball player, number 5, Brooksy, we used to call him. He calls and he's looking. I recognized. I'm sorry, babe. I recognized his voice, and I said, "Is this Brooks?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Who's calling?" I said, "I'm calling for the Inn at the Colonnade." I said, "This is the Inn at the Colonnade." He says, "Is this the condominium office?" I said, "No." I said, "Is this Brooks?" He said, "Yeah, this is Brooks." I said, "Brooks, I read your book. I watched you. I love you. You're an amazing baseball player." And he laughed and he said, "Thank you very much, Ken." And I said, "Somehow you got patched to the sales office, but I'll send you up to the condominium office." And that was my interaction with Hall of Famer, world famous third baseman Brooks Robinson. Yeah, right here. And the sales office used to be, I think, back through there. It's been 30 years.